Hey guys, thanks for joining me today. So I thought we'd try something a little different and make insect specimen shadow boxes. I made some of these a few months ago for my room and they turned out pretty awesome. So I thought I'd share that and see if you wanted to create your own. So this is what you're going to need to make your own insect specimen shadow boxes. You're going to need a black and brown marker, a pair of good scissors, some pigment ink and a metal ruler preferably, a pencil, a craft cutter, another brown marker, very small, some rub-ons for antiquing, double-sided tape, a wooden skewer and a glue gun. So here we go. Gather the papers that you've chosen for your theme. It can be anything. I've chosen pink and black because I'd like a gothic theme for these. I've got a white frame, but any frame is fine. So once you've got your frame and your paper, now this paper you need to remember that this is the one that's going to go onto your frame surround, not the backing. So choose the paper that you want on the frame surround first. Then once you've traced around the frame onto your paper with your pencil, you can cut it out very carefully with your crafting knife. Just watch your fingers with this because you can lose track of where it is. Set aside the rest of your paper and just figure out which corner you'd like your pattern, if there is one. You can use Elmer's glue, but I'm a little impatient for that rubbish. So I choose to use double-sided tape. This is a friend to any crafter because you can use it on a lot of items and you don't have to wait for it to dry. And it is permanent as well. So go ahead and start masking up the edges of your paper frame with the double-sided tape, and I will do all the way around the outside and also all the way around the inside with the double-sided tape, and that way your backing paper won't move at all. Keep going till you've covered all the sides. Carefully lift your wax backing paper up off your double-sided tape. This is a very irresponsible way for me to do this, but use a toothpick or something if you're not confident enough to do that without cutting yourself. And once you've lifted up all the backing paper off, you can carefully place your frame paper down. Give it a little rub so it doesn't move anywhere. Now once it's down, it's going to be easier to cut out the inside of your frame. Careful not to slice through the cardboard and cut your frame to pieces while you're doing this. If you just go deep into the frame and just slide it along the edge, it normally works fairly well. And once you've got your frame sorted out and all neat, make sure there's no daggy edges on it, and you're ready for the next part, which is putting your background on. I like to antique the edges of my frames with my pigment ink. This is Pinecone by Versa, and it gives it a little bit of a worn, aged look, a bit more antique. You don't have to do this next step. To get into the corners, I use a little earbud so there's no white card showing through your project when you've finished your frames. More white bits you can't get onto, grab your brown Sharpie marker and just run it through carefully over the white areas to cover it up. Gives a nice finish to the end look. And now once you've done that, again, choose the background you like to match your frame. Contrasting is always better, but you can have monochrome if you wish, or black and a white, or greys, or whatever other colour scheme you're going for. I chose a pattern because it gives a little bit more of a softer look for what I was going for with my theme. And again, get your trusty double-sided tape and make sure you cover it well, all the edges. And carefully press down, and there's your finished product for the frame and the background. Now you're ready to grab your bugs. Now I've already painted my bugs black, but you can leave them natural if you want and just dirty them up a little bit with some antiquing, pigmenting or some rub-ons. I decided to paint mine black to match the first set I did. And I'm going to use gold rub-on for this. And just put as much on as you want. It highlights, shows the highlights and all the detail of your bugs. I like this because it's a little bit more gothic, and that was the style, that was the look I was going for. Make sure you get all the legs, all the detail. And there you go. A little bit of sheen, brings out the detail. These are great for Halloween as well if you wanted to make black frames with grey or white and just have the black bugs. Now for placement of your little critters. And grab your glue gun and make sure to carefully place them into the centre of your background. Don't be frightened of using plenty of glue on these because you won't see it once they're flipped over. And you want them to hold in place and not slip down inside your frame. Now you can go ahead and glue the rest of the body parts down if he has feelers or little legs or wings that need to be secured to the background. And there you go, he's on the background, ready to pop in the frame. A little tip, make sure the glass in your frames are cleaned thoroughly first, because they could fog up afterwards. And there you have it, the finished product.